Hello, welcome back to Talk About Strange. You know, sometimes you talk about strange. Sometimes it just feels like things aren't meant to happen, and you just got to push through. And I'm referring to these two stories I'm about to read to you. I don't know why I've had such an incredibly difficult time recording these videos. Excuse me. This is the third time today I've tried to do this video. Either just, there was just too many cuts, there's too many slip ups in between or something, camera angle wasn't right or something, the lighting, this candle over here went out on me. I don't know how or why. They're both the exact same length, but that one burned out. And that one was still halfway, so I changed them out. But just really strange, really strange. I shot this at the lake, this video, and it was just a bitter cold day. Somehow I forgot to plug my microphone into the camera, so my sound didn't come through. And I mean, that was a long day, long cold day. And then I shot it again in here, and I know this is vain, but I had this weird split in my hair. I just couldn't get past it, man. It was just weird, and so I said I couldn't do it. So I came out here, and like I said, this is my third or fourth try here trying to shoot this. So I'm gonna read it right now. We're gonna get through this video. I am not gonna quit until we get this done. I owe it to them for writing and sending this in to me. Jeff, I apologize. It's taken so long. Same to you, Greg. So here we go. You ready? Let me get on with the story. You guys are gonna enjoy this. Stick around. You're gonna enjoy the story. All right. Hello. I have thought many times about reaching out to some of the channels or podcasts that talk about Bigfoot, aliens, and all that stuff. Somehow I felt compelled to email you. Sorry, Jeff. Boy, I hope you don't regret that now. I don't crave any attention. I am definitely not trying to prove a dang thing. I am in a documentary called A Flash of Beauty, Bigfoot Revealed. So I'm going to post that. He sent me the link for that, so I'll post that if you guys want to check that out. You should check it out. So, okay, here's one experience that I shared with my buddy Jim in a tent in the bitter roots of Idaho several years ago. Our experience was almost exactly the same. In this camp, we had about 8 people with us. Jim and I shared a big canvas tent that he used to use when he went hunting. There were 3 or 4 more tents and a camper on a pickup truck. We had a fire that night and doused it out with 5 gallons of water. Everyone went to bed shortly thereafter. Our canvas tent was at the end of the camp spot next to the gravel road that ended about a mile up, half mile up. I slept in a cot at the back wall. All was quiet, everyone was asleep when I heard what sounded like a train busting through the forest and crashing its way to the gravel road beyond my tent, just a few yards back. I sat straight up and listened to the heavy footsteps that became silent just as they got to the wall of the tent. I could hear massive deep breathing just inches away from where I sat. Only a thin layer of canvas was between me and whatever was standing there. My initial thoughts were, they're here. The sound of the breath, somehow I assumed it was a male, seemed to be coming from way up high, about 10 feet. I guessed. I felt like I should lay back down, flat on the cot. As soon as I did, he walked around the tent between the trees and that rose up a steep hill and where everyone else had set up for the night. Then I heard the pitter-patter of what seemed like little feet running on the gravel and into the camp. I could hear our coolers being opened and shut as if they were being raided by some curious visitors. As fast as I had awoken, I Z'd away again. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to fall right back to sleep after that. I woke up later to the lights shining through the tent and walls. I could make out swirling orange and yellow lights everywhere, bright enough it woke me up. I thought, what are the cops doing here? The fire pit was about 20 to 30 feet outside of the front flaps of the canvas tent. My attention turned toward the front of the tent, and I could see that our fire somehow started itself back up again. I whispered to Jim, "Wake up, our fire restarted." He said, "Oh, did it?" We both sat there on the cots and watched like 15, 20 minutes and just stared at the flames. There were 2 dancing flames side by side, raising and following up and down 2 to 3 feet all the way up to 10 to 15 feet high. Neither one of us felt compelled to go outside the tent to consider inspecting or putting it out. We both watched silently until the flames crashed back down to the ground and everything went dark. And within moments, we were both back asleep. A year later, after letting that night sink in, I called Jim to discuss what happened again. Well, I finally admitted to myself what else I saw that night and around the dancing flames. Jim said he had something to add. Also, we both had witnessed 2 huge, dark, 10 to 12 foot tall bodies walking around the dancing flames in a clockwise manner. As each body positioned itself between the tent and the flames, their body mass cast a huge shadow. I stayed there 3 nights, and each night was met at the edge of the tent by the big guy, followed by the little ones. There's more that happened those 3 nights and during future campouts at this spot. Those are encounters for another time. Thanks for letting me tell about this experience. Let me know if you need any more information about me or my buddy Jim, my friend Jim. Jeff. All right, so hey, thanks a lot for sending that in to us, Jeff. He did add in here that 2 of the girls and 1 guy that was also camping had seen and heard the flames and heard crackling, but Jeff didn't hear the crackling sound. So, but that's really cool. I haven't had any experiences with dancing flames. I did look into it a little bit, and I have heard about like flames, like spirits appearing as flames, and spirit, like was ritual dances with flames, and maybe that's what that type of thing was. I heard another story of a girl being kidnapped by Bigfoot and by a actual group, and they had done a ritual. They were doing a ritual around a fire. She's not sure what the intent was for her, but she had escaped and somehow got to safety. So to tell the story. So anyway, I haven't had any experience with that. Anybody out there that you heard the story? If you've had any experiences like that with dancing flames, or I was wondering if maybe they'd even taken, I've taken brush before in brush fires, and you put the leaves down in there, and sometimes they'll just, or you can pick it up. But if you think there's any possibility and anything like that, I'm talking about the Bigfoot, maybe doing something or doing some sort of a ritual, and you couldn't tell from where you were at. But anyway, anything you can add to that? Anybody, please send it in. Right here's the is it here? Is it here? Somewhere in here, I got the email address. You can write it to me or put it in the comments. All right. So that's Jeff's story. Let's get on to Greg's story. Now, Greg wrote about orbs. He had experience with orbs, and this is another really interesting story. It's not just, and I think to me it's interesting beyond just the orbs, but where it's at, the Daniel Boone National Forest, on the Chautauqua Trace Trail. So, excuse me. If anybody's had any experiences in that area, make sure you comment or write into me. But I'm going to read this story to you. This is really interesting. So here we go. Good afternoon, Steve. My name is Greg, and I live in Richmond, Kentucky. I am in my mid-50s and work in the National Finance Department for a nonprofit healthcare organization. I've always had an affinity for the outdoors and really enjoy the flora and fauna. Growing up, my summers were spent at my grandmother's farm working in tobacco, raising cattle, soybeans, hay, and gardening, with my spare time exploring the woods of her 50-acre farm. For the last 7 years, I spent one day each week in the Daniel Boone National Forest. A close friend from high school always joins me for hiking, exploring the National Forest. The majority of our hikes are normally off-trail, where we seek out waterfalls, natural arches, and wildlife. The Daniel Boone National Forest is packed full of waterfalls and natural arches. A few years back, a website was created, kywaterfalls.com. So I'll put that link down below as well, so you can check that out. This website is a great resource for Kentucky waterfall and arch enthusiasts. All of this, at the time of this writing, its database contains 1,118 waterfalls, with the majority of them being located in the Daniel Boone National Forest. My Recon X Hyperfire 2 cellular cover IR camera was triggered at 5/25/2023 at 11:47 p.m. and captured the orb, images, and 10-second video. This camera is set up to take 3 pictures at 1-second intervals and then a 10-second recording video. This camera was located in the Daniel Boone National Forest, Hawk Creek area near London, Kentucky, and some 100 yards off the Chautauqua Trace Trail. I hope I'm saying that right. For your listeners, I'll give a little information on the Chautauqua Trace Trail. This trail is 343 miles long. That's a long hiking trail, running through the Daniel Boone National Forest. The trail begins at the Big South Fork National River Recreational Area in Scott County, Tennessee, and runs northeast to Rowan County, Kentucky. On a night hike some 3 or 4 months previous to capturing the orb pictures and video, my hiking buddy and myself seen a light moving through the trees in the same area. We initially thought a hiker may be out in the forest, but could not understand how their flashlights would be moving throughout the trees. We called out to see if anybody needed assistance, but never got a reply. It was a strange experience and was the reason for deploying cameras in the Hawk Creek area. All photos and videos of this orb object are original and unedited. The 200% zoom PNG photos were made with the Windows snipping tool, while view the pictures via media windows. While view the pictures via Windows Media Player. Knew I'd get that out. The first picture was made at 23:47:27. The orb object is very bright and has 3-dimensional appearance. I estimate its size to be that of a basketball, and its surface looks like a golf ball. A deer in the bottom right of the picture, and appears to be clueless to the orb's presence. No wind was blowing when the picture and video were captured. I make this statement due to the tree leaves remaining motionless, and I do not believe this is a spider's web moving about. The second picture was made at 23:47:28. The orb has moved up and to the right. In addition, it is not as bright as it was in the first picture, but it still retains its 3-dimensional shape. You can see the orb and the small tree branch behind it. The third picture was made at 23:47:29. The orb has moved to the left and you can no longer see through it. Its brighter state now prevents the tree branch behind it from being visible. The 10-second video begins at 23:47:29. All right, I'm going to play that right now. The orb moves about, going from a high light intensity to a low light intensity several times. The Recon X trail camera that captured the photo and video has never had any issues and has captured thousands of daytime and nighttime photos and videos. I did a lot of online research after capturing the orb object and found a 2006 Jacksonville State University JSU article in which Al and Pat Harris photographed orbs in a Civil War cemetery. Their orbs are an exact match to what my trail camera picked up. The JSU article can be found via the URL, and I will post that down below as well, or you can look for that so you can look at it. During my online research, I did find a few scientific articles on the ball light phenomenon, but images of the ball light look nothing like the orb. In addition, these articles report the ball lighting as to not lasting more than 4 to 5 seconds. I have absolutely no idea what orbs are, where they come from, or if they're dangerous for people who encounter them. I hope these photographs and videos serve as a comparison as to what they observed, other people have observed. I have absolutely no idea what. Oh yeah, I said it anyway. Thank you for, thank you for your show, and I ask that everyone please remain watchful while you're in the forest. Respectfully, Greg. Greg, thank you for sending that in. Yeah, that's really cool stuff. I've had some experiences myself with orbs. I've seen them. I know my kids have seen them in our house in Savannah. There's been a couple different places. House I did construction work on, and pictures. Just seen quite a few of them in different pictures. I've always kind of written them off as just something in the camera on the lens and that, but we're learning more and more that there's a little bit more to it. So, I can't say for sure, but a lot of people are seeing them. So if anybody out there, if you have any experience with orbs, if you've seen any, if you have pictures or whatever, don't be afraid to share them with us. And this is just an open platform that people can talk about this stuff and their sightings and experiences, strange happenings, and we will not pass judgment on you. So if you've seen anything or heard anything, let us know. So, Greg, thank you again for sending it in. I hope I did you justice. I'm sorry it took so long to get to yours as well. We communicated back and forth. I hope we continue to communicate back and forth with anything else. Though I do want to add that on a program I watched, Bigfoot, there was Orb, Bigfoot interaction, association that they talked about on there. So I don't know. I think you sent me some other pictures that, oh my goodness, this, I told you I recorded this a few times. Interactions between Bigfoot and orbs. So, if I don't know what those other pictures you showed me look like. They're like thermal images. So if there was a Bigfoot out there, I don't know. But there was been some talk of association. So I don't know what that is. But let's find out more. And we're going to find out more if you guys write in and talk about it. Let us know what your experiences were. And we really look forward to it. And we want to share it and talk about it. All right. So there you are again. Two great stories. Two great people. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. This wouldn't be possible without you. Please continue to watch and support the channel. And we will see you again really soon.